Yo, what's good, fam? It's your man Jay. I'm here with I believe this is the first video of 2026. Listen, time gets away from you and you think it was just last week that you made a video, then you find out it's been 2 months ago. But I got some mail today and I wanted to share that with you guys real quick because I was waiting for that to make another video. And I figured I might as well tell you guys real quick about what I picked up so far in the past 2 weeks. Can't go back to what I picked up, since the beginning of the year because we've had 6 comic book days already. We'll get to that part later. But for today, I want to show you what I picked up today. No fancy intros, no nothing like that. I got a little bit to say. Before I start the video, I want to give a shout out to Blerd with No Fear, my man Ernie. I watched the video today. I really enjoyed it, and it was the one about comics. The comics guy, Rob. Comics explained. I was purposely trying not to say the other channel, the one that I do like, but Rob's channel. And Rob, if you come off your mountain and decide to check out this video, I guess I might as well include you in it as well. But not to say putting you guys to pair together, but anyway, Ernie, I love what you said today. I really enjoyed it. One of the things that I got from it was about people like trying to say, well, I'm going to be right in the middle. I'm not going to stand on either side. And in life, you can't do that. Honestly, you can't because I'm not even going to try to quote the person, but it was something to the effect of the only thing it's needed for evil to win is for good men to stand by the side. And that's one of those things. So Ernie, I applaud you for stepping up. And like you said, you could lose followers over the whole, comics explained, whatever you want to call it, exposure. He's been exposed, like they like to say on the internet. But I think I looked at both sides, like Rob said. Not the white supremacist side. I can never see from that side. But I looked at the side from, well, what is he really trying to do? What is his objective? And I can say that he has not really talked about any black characters other than, like just a few of the most notable ones for that everybody is into. But there are a lot of black characters that he completely omits. And, it is one of those things where he's playing to his audience and, you know, do him. He's so X-Men, but he doesn't realize that the X-Men are super political, from the beginning. That's when they were created. It was a political thing. But, some of the other stuff. And for those of you that don't know, Rob was called not a possum, but the other thing that goes bump in the garbage or whatever. That a lot of times that black people are called if they lose their blackness, if they don't identify with being black. And I don't see that Rob ever identified as being black. And um, you know, to each his own. That's his thing. But to stand in opposition of that which is black is to stand which is in opposition of me. So I found out a few things that I didn't like. One of the things that pissed me off is number one, anybody say anything about Angel Reese, you around me, you say something negative, you probably gonna get punched in the face. That's how much I like her. So that already disqualifies you from ever being, cool with me if you ever were, which I don't really care, but just saying. Um, and then to try to make the claim that you're siding with those white supremacist comic book channels and saying, well, not siding with them, but saying that you follow them just so you can get their point of view. They don't have a point of view, in my opinion. All they do is spew garbage, and I've watched them myself. I've watched, a couple of their shows just to see, where they were coming from. Didn't follow them. Don't harp on them. Don't talk about them. Don't say their name. Any of that because they would get choked out and choke slammed around me. So anyway, but not to make it a completely negative thing, because I was starting off by saying big ups to my man at Blerd with No Fear. And Ernie, I've always dug your channel. You know, I like some of the things that you say. Not everything, but I like a lot of the things you say. And that's the cool thing, is that we can, both have perspectives and, look at things from a different viewpoint. I come at it from a readership. I'm not so into the big two that I ignore the big three, which is Image and some of the other books. I like the comic books for the storytelling of it. So, and I know that a lot of comic book YouTubers get in it for the pop culture thing. So, just wanted to speak on that real quick. So, if this offended anybody by me taking a side, good. Because I like for racists and people who are anti-black and people that are yelling all lives matter, I want you to raise your hand so you can exit stage left, or don't even raise your hand, just walk out. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with having 5 followers if that means that the 5 followers that I have are like-minded, because those are the people that I'm talking to anyway. And I no longer want to mince words. And that's where I was going back to the thing of standing on one side or the other. I am a black comic book collector. I'm not anti-white or anti-anybody else. I'm just black, and I love my blackness, and I'm going to celebrate that. And in this country, that hasn't been done enough, and still with the erasure and them trying to erase history and stuff like that, I think we do need to step it up a little bit. As the first black comic book grader in history of comic book grading, in the history of CGC certified comic book grader, myself and my man Brian, we are the first. We're not mentioned in the history books of CGC, but I think it's because we're black. And I'm not going to say that I was laid off from CGC, which incidentally February 7th 3 years ago was when I was laid off. That they chose me out of all the different people there, and there's only like maybe 50 certified comic book graders in the world from CGC, and me and Brian were the first, and they chose me. And I wasn't, it's not like I was horrible at my job either, so don't get that, because I not only was I dedicated to the job, I loved the job. It was my favorite job to this date that I've ever had in my life, because comic books is a big part of my world. But it's about talking about history, and if we're talking about historical black comic book characters and things of that nature, and the stories that we want to share, and we want to get more black people into comic books, and Latino people into comic books, and Asian people into comic books, and everybody, to make it more inclusive, not not just those are my characters and leave them alone and all this other. Get the F out of here, because that's not really what Stan Lee stood for. It's not what Jack Kirby stood for, or any of the the great comic book forefathers, I'll say. So anyway, just wanted to get that out the way. On to what I picked up today. All right, so first I picked up this Moon Knight, and actually it's a #1, so I guess we're retelling the story again, because I was reading the previous Moon Knight. And where is the indicia? That's a word that I learned from my man Bradley at CGC, the word indicia, and that is this section of the comic book here. And that's where it tells you the publishing date, the name of it, what series it is, stuff like that. But this is being written by Jed MacKay. I'm not sure why they keep starting things over again, but this is what I picked up. So this is Moon Knight #1. This is the Hell's Kitchen variant. I thought that was Hunter's Moon on the cover, but it may be just a variant of Daredevil or variant of Moon Knight in a Daredevil type costume. Anyway, got that, and I got the comic book that everybody's going berserk over these days. It's hard to find this absolute Batman. They keep getting sold out. My comic book shop gets sold out on a regular basis, which is very good. I have a #1. It's in a 9/8, and I also have a second printing of #1. So That first number one is going to get probably get slabbed, and this is going to be one of my first slabs since I left CGC. But I'm gonna get that slabbed, and I'm gonna sell it or trade it because I value in it, and I can get some other stuff that I like. I care about the story more so than I care about having that as a slab. So anyway, this is the Joker issue. I guess you've already seen this one before, so that's good to have. The next thing I picked up is, I don't know anything about this one, but I seen a sister on the cover, and this is Just Brutal, and it's by Dennis Hopeless. I haven't done any research on it, and I don't even really know what it's about, but it's by Ignition Press, and the author is Dennis Hopeless, and the artist is Brom Revel. But like I said, I saw it was on the table. It had a sister on it. I flipped through it, kind of was digging the artwork a little bit, and said it's worth giving it a shot. So that's why I picked up this. I'll let you guys know at a later time about that one. All right, so last book I picked up for today is Crownsville. Got my man Rodney Barnes. This is an absolutely dope story, as always, because that's all Rodney does is tell great stories. This is a horror story for those that don't know. This is issue number 4 of 5. So there's one more after this, and then he's gonna wrap it up. No Diddy, but Elia Bonetti is the artwork, does the artwork on this one, and I'll show you guys since it's not bagged and board yet. But I'm really digging the artwork that in this book, and it's fitting. It fits the story, and that's what I always tell people. My idea of the perfect comic book is a comic book that the cover matches the inside artwork, matches the story, all perfectly. Everything meshes super well. This is cover A. I actually wanted cover B, but my comic book shop did not get that one for me, which I'm grateful that they got this one. Shout out to my girl Kat. Shout out to Joe at Emerald City Comic Books, which is right down the road here in Clearwater. So thank you for always making sure that I get at least the books that I want as far as the stories. Don't always get the cover that I want, but that's my fault because I don't let them know in time. I'm, just like this video, I'm late to the party. Not to say I'm on CPT, I'm on JPT, so it is what it is. Some of the books that I picked up from last week, I picked up this Cullen Bunn book. This is also from Ignition Press. This is Ripcord, and I don't know what this is about at all, but I just thought it was a dope looking book, and kind of was digging the artwork in this one as well. It's illustrated by someone named Aniki, and yeah, so I don't know, it has this red hue to the panel, so picked up that. I'll eventually see what it's about and, keep it moving. All right, so this book, it was slow. It was a slow pickup for me. I really picked this one up based off of the name of the writer, and this is Stephanie Williams, is Roots of Madness. And it was slow in the beginning. The first issue, it took a little bit for the hook to get into me, so to speak. But I really dig it. I'm digging the story. I'm digging what it's about. I'm definitely digging the covers. The covers look really cool. And yeah, when I look at this cover, I just remember watching my sister, my little baby sister, getting her hair done and stuff like that. So this is a really good story. And Letizia Kondonica is doing the artwork. Hope I didn't mess up that name too bad. But this is issue 4 as well. And yeah, pick that up. And in my other videos, if you watched, I've talked about Sam and Twitch. I absolutely love this series. This is from the Spawn universe, Todd McFarlane's universe. So this is that new character. It kind of looks like, can't think of the Daredevil characters that he kind of resembles. But this is a character that actually Sam, the bigger guy, he had issues with before, thought the guy was gone, thought he was either dead or he had disappeared, and then he's back. So this is like it might be a copycat killer or just a serial killer who's returned. So this is a really dope series if you've been reading it. This is issue number 21. Sam and Twitch, they actually showed up in Spawn number 1 long time ago, and this is one of the mini-series. It's Sam and Twitch Case Files, to be exact. Really good writing, really good series if you want to check that out. All right. So this is another Hell's Kitchen variant like that Moon Knight joint. This is the Avengers number 35. And I got some reading to do. I got to catch up on this one as well. I don't know exactly what's going on with it, but I'm really digging this because they're showing a lot of T'Challa. And this T'Challa is a lot more alpha male than some of the T'Challa, right? The people who have written about T'Challa previously, except for like Sherilyn Eaton. I don't know where she is. If you guys know, if anybody who's watching this video, and if she's watching it, which I doubt because I'm such a small fry, but if she's watching it, hey, I want to know what she's doing. I want to know when she's going to write something else, because to me, she is one of the dopest writers that I've seen in recent history. So anyway, pick this up as well. And this one was strictly a cover buy. So for those of you who like Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, and like Sam the bear, the serial killer bear, and this is actually DCKO. This is a variant cover that has Sam, and I guess she's gonna fight the Joker in it or whatever. I'm not sure if that's how it goes, but I haven't been reading DCKO. Don't really care about it, but that the story as far as that goes, that hasn't piqued my interest. But this cover, because it got Sam on it, it's a variant cover, I decided to pick this one up too. So yeah. All right, and you've already seen my girl Storm, and this is the Juan Figuera cover for issue number 1 for Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant. I picked this one up, and this is going to be a new run. And this is, I guess this one was, I guess this was issue, cover B. That's the words I'm looking for, cover B. So I picked this one up as well. And I read the story. This is out of all of this, probably this is the only one that I can remember that I read immediately. And I like where it's going. I like how it picked up, and the direction. It picked up from the previous Storm series. And I don't know, like, again, they keep renumbering things. And this one actually has the same writer. And I'm not even going to go into that. I don't know why they did that. But that's kind of weird. But it's good so far. That first issue was dope. And I'm going to hang with the series until, find a reason not to. So, yeah. And on to, real quick, to make this a really quick video, to what I got in the mail today. I actually got it yesterday when I got home from work and was too tired to actually make a video. But I want to send a shout out to my guys over at WiseAcre Comics. And, all right, so I want to... First of all, I want to send a shout out to my guys over there, my folks over there, because I think maybe some ladies as well that work there, but of course it is. Anyway, but that is one of my favorite independents. So I think the way you say it is Vivi, the young lady who is getting connected to the supernatural realm in New Orleans. Yeah, it's a story that has been told before, but I love the way that it's being told now. Okay. So I was looking to see exactly who the writer is on VV, but I'm gonna do another video when I actually, get dressed appropriately, I'll say. But anyway, that's one of my favorite books. Definitely one of my favorite independents. You guys might know about Magnus Jakuta. That is another one of their titles, but they have a ton of books over there. It is their own imprint. It's a black imprint. They a black publisher. And they have a lot of stories, a ton of stories. Most of them I have downloaded on my iPad, and that's where I read them. But I'm getting, like Vivi, I have that in a hard copy, and hopefully I'm going to get some more in a hard copy as well. But the other day, I was on their site, and I was like, dang, they got a lot of dope stuff. And I came across these shirts. So I picked this up, thought this was really dope. And Wear Your Story, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm definitely going to rep them with this shirt and this other. And I also got in the bag, I used to have my episode of my segment of What's in the Bag. I'm going to bring that back this year as well, because, that's going to be my shorter videos. But this is dope sweatshirt, so copped this as well, and it's Nice little hoodie. Feels really good. Feels, it's not super thick, so that's good because I'm in Florida. But yeah, so I picked these up. So like again, like I say, you get it right, so I can show the camera right. So yeah, this is from WiseAcre Comics, and WiseAcre Comics, because the thing was covering my mouth, and love on the sleeve how they got Wise. So I'm actually I'm going to my writing group tonight. Shout out to my writing group that I lead. It's called The End, the writing group that's going to help you get there. And it's by Culture Creative. Shout out to my man Brain. Shout out to Danny and Azura, and everybody else that partakes in the community of Culture Creative. Let me get it right. But that's our core group. That's where the creatives in this area. That's where we meet up. It's in St. Pete on, I guess that's called, it's 34th. I keep forgetting the names of the streets, but it's on 34th. If you know about Urban Ink, it's inside the Urban Ink tattoo shop. But yeah, so I'm gonna sport this to my writing group tonight, and shout out to Rooted Reads Book Club, and everything else that goes on, with Culture Creative. And yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm doing tonight, and hopefully my tooth doesn't go acting crazy. It already, doing this talking, it's already like kind of buzzing, so hopefully I can get into the dentist tomorrow and get this tooth extracted, or whatever the heck they want to do with it, anything to stop the pain. Anyway, so yeah, so that's my quick video for 2026. Not the last one of 2026, but the introductory for me for 2026. This is Evolutionary Comics. If you haven't haven't got the gist of that yet, I'm Jay, and former CGC comic book grader. I've been collecting comic books since the early 80s. I stopped for a long time. I came back about 10 years ago. I have a massive collection. Don't have like some of the greatest keys like everybody else, but I got a little smoke. Like some of my friends tell me, they like, James, you got some fire over there. I got a little something over here, but yeah. So anyway, if you like the channel, if you like what I got to say, if you feeling me, what I was saying earlier about Rob, and shout out to my man Ernie and a lot of other comic book creatives on YouTube. Want to give them a shout out too. But I'm gonna do that in the next full video where I can make a longer video. So if you're digging this all, like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling about anything that I may have said, because I am that guy that's gonna stand in the paint on anything that I say, and I'm gonna stand in the paint on my feelings and my emotions about things. And yeah, so cool. All right, so continue to evolve. This is your man Jay. Thank you for checking out Evolutionary Comics in 2026. Peace.